All right. Hello, hi to anyone who might be watching this in the future. If you are, that's very cool of you. Thanks for dedicating your time to watching this because it's an actual play video. So this is gonna be long as hell. Um, this game was arranged through the Gauntlet, which is a community on the internet that gets together and plays tabletop role-playing games of many stripes, from indie games, story games, OSR games, all that fun jazz. Find them at gauntlet-rpg.com. They've got a blog, a monthly zine, podcast, and the Hangouts calendar to which this game was arranged. This is the finale of our four-part series into Hilt and Blade, which is the second in a monthly series I'm doing, going through Mecha games that are in development. And yeah, this has been a bit of a roller coaster. As you can see, we've had to say goodbye to Tony and to Darren, but we have a new player on who I know is awesome because I've had fun times with him before. You'll get to meet them later. But for now, let's meet our returning players and characters. So start with the order backwards on my screen. So Rob, could you tell us about yourself and your character?
Hi, I'm Rob. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Reino Gata, who is a haunted survivor of one of the earlier attacks by the Outsiders, who just last episode found out that the reason that attack happened was because the Outsiders wanted him to turn to their side. Yay.
I don't know. Those outsiders seem, well, okay, maybe not the human-faced dragonfly with the scaly dragon wings that shot out Starfire. Maybe that wasn't too friendly. But we do know friendly outsiders, and we're gonna meet them. Diana, introduce yourself and your character.
Hello, I'm Diana Moon. I go by she, her, and I'm playing Carina de la Cruz, who also goes by she, her. And she is an outsider because she's only joined the colony within the last year-ish or so, but she's also secretly, or not so secretly, an outsider. Who was taken when she was very young to be raised and experimented on, maybe possibly to be a hilt and possibly figure out what's going on, for the humans to figure out what's going on. And yeah, last episode she found out that they're just trying to survive, and that um yeah, she has no choice because she's actually made some human connections and has to keep on fighting alongside if she wants Benjamin to ever wake up again.
Yeah. Also, you found out that the station is powered on the blood of outsiders. So there you go. That was also a
That's
big
right.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that was also a big thing. Yeah. And yeah, we've had to say goodbye to Benjin, who is being used as blackmail by the docent. Had to say goodbye to Mars, who is still quantum locked and is still stuck in the tube, which is probably full of stickers now. So that means obviously that because the squad is now 50% depleted, we need some new blood. We need some some exciting new pilots. So Alex, tell us about yourself and give us a rundown of our newcomer to this squad.
Hi, yeah, so I'm Alex. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Veranda Palisade, who uses she, her pronouns. She is an overconfident fighter. The basic idea I had for her backstory is that she's just transferred to this squad, for new blood. The last squad she was in, they went out to fight outsiders, and everybody died except her. Just because she's that awesome is what she'll tell you.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, is it just because she's that awesome?
Because that's what she'll say. Sure.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm wondering now, like, if that's really what she is that what she says on the outside, or that's what she really believes in.
I would say it's hard to say. That's certainly how she's coping.
Way to find out. So
her the link move I gave her is you lack subtlety. So everyone else gains a link, by the way.
That's nice. We are kind of starved for links in this game. People just can't connect. I don't know why. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, so we'll introduce Palisade to the other two fairly sharpish. I think I mentioned probably not in the recording that we are going to start in a in a formal setting involving dancing and whatnot. Before we get into that, I want to talk about safety tools first. It's always good to remind folks of the safety tools that we're using just to make sure that people are playing comfortably, because the most important part is that we're having fun together, and part of the foundation of that is making sure everyone's comfortable. So the character keeper has a tab for lines and veils. Lines are things that won't be crossed. It just won't show up in the fiction. Like it's not for debate. If it's there, then we're not going to go with it. Veils are things that can happen in fiction, but we are gonna we're not going to focus on it, so to speak. Like it can happen, we can acknowledge it, but we're not going to focus the camera on it. We're not going to linger on it. It's just we'll throw a veil over it, so to speak. We're also using script change by Brebo Sheldon. I'll be link down below. Basically, it is a bunch of like safety tools kind of consolidate together to form like one whole. And you'll see like if you go to the role for your party, the buttons used for script change are there next to the X card. I'll just go through each of them. There's one called rewind, which is basically we can like in time any scene we can go back a few seconds or even a few minutes, or like go back entirely if people feel uncomfortable for whatever reason happens there. And I might ask questions on what we're kind of erasing, but no one gets a question if we're rewinding. That's completely fine. Fast forward is kind of like it is kind of like veil in that we don't have to linger on some certain things. Like okay, these two characters are gonna go in the door, close, and inside the bedroom, turn off the lights. We can just fast forward over that, or we're not gonna linger on how how like an outsider, the quote unquote outsider is killed or whatever. We're not gonna linger on like that. We can, if people want to fast forward, we can fast forward through that. And pausing is for like if things get intense, like emotion or so, people need to take a breather or something, or if people need to step away from the table for whatever reason, whether there's an emergency, whether it turns out you were more tired than you thought, whether you made the mistake that I did and drank 50% of your water before we've even started, and you really need to go. You can pause at any time, any time, and we will accommodate that. So yeah, I think after last week's heartrending because Benjamin's heart was attacked by the docent, heartrending cliffhanger, we're gonna skip ahead a few days. Some angry smiles over there. We're gonna skip a few days, and I mentioned, we are gonna open like a gala presentation, a gala ball to celebrate. I mean, that parade that happened a couple sessions ago was just for the heck of it, and I'm imagining this ball was also for the heck of it. So I'm gonna get you all to kind of like paint the scene. This is kind of like the Governor General is trying to throw the celebration to be like, hey, our Hilts defeated the creepy dragonfly outsider, hooray! And brought back more of its corpse so we can research it, hooray! And also this is partially that celebrate and to celebrate a new member to this squad anyway being added. So I kind of want to paint the scene a bit, and I'll start with our newest member, Palisade. I kind of want to know in this wherever this ball is happening, like what's a detail to show that the Governor General spared no expense, and also what are you wearing? Which is probably more important than what I just asked.
I think they might be the same answer, actually. Because I think Veranda is wearing a extremely nice magenta dress that is very much not hers. And frankly would probably rather not be wearing anyway. Um, I mean, I think there's also plenty of other examples of the sort of ostentatiousness of the ball, but and yeah, no expense being spared. But that's the one I'd point to.
Nice. Also, what's your demeanor like at the moment?
I think she's kind of got the same cocksure demeanor she always has. I mean, you don't know that yet, but although like this is not exactly the kind of setting in which she thrives. So she's probably nervous about that.
Yeah. Before I zero in on that, I want to get more details of what this ball looks like. So, Karina, um, what's a detail of this ball to kind of like showcase how you all are being celebrated? Like, what's a detail of this ball to like that's focusing on specifically on the garden and on the blades and the hilts, and also what are you wearing?
The detail is that before Benjamin got out of commission, he was commissioned to do a lot of different art pieces. And it was like representations of all of us of the previous squad and of like highlights of the garden's like specialties. So they're all like, some of them are interactive, some of them are colorful, some of them have sound and everything. It's like a Met Gala techno style kind of thing that's going on. So Benjamin's presence is everywhere. And then we even have um there's even a like remember the fallen kind of thing for Mars, even though like he's gonna make it, he's just recuperating, and such. And so for the people who do know Carina, and even though they don't know much about Carina constantly was very technically conservative in her clothing. Whenever she didn't have to wear the uniform, she always wore like calm colors, long sleeved, everything, long skirts and everything. And she, for once, chose her own outfit. And I'm gonna link this into the chat so y'all can see because I'm that kind of person. Um, it is very risque for her because she's still wearing the long sleeves. It's almost ball gown like, black and gold with a very deep V cut front, like that goes practically to the navel, but still not very like, um, but still in her own way, kind of a little bit conservative because like you don't really see like the cleavage and everything. It's just, but the main thing is the reason she chose this is she has scarring all across her front. So you could see that in the dress. She didn't like hide it with makeup or anything. And her hair is up, which is also something rare that she usually keeps her hair down. It's up and like in curls. And yeah, she's very nervous looking at the moment, like, because yeah.
Yeah, I do want to remind that Benjamin is a hologram artist, so all this like tech mech gala stuff, yeah, you can touch, you can interact with. And Rain, um, what's the detail? How do the people in this ball kind of like treat you Hilts? Like, are they worshipful? Are they like fanning over yourselves? What's kind of like how are the people here treating you? And also, what are you wearing?
So it what kind of people are at this ball is the first thing I would ask.
Well, you tell me actually. What kind of people do you think will be invited to a ball to celebrate yourselves and remember the fallen, so to speak?
I feel like it would probably be like the upper classes of the city, like the people basically that support financially the financial backers for the garden and that sort of thing. So I think that the way the people at the ball behave is like they're very, in that way, that you expect in these sort of situations. They're very polite and like act as if they're interested in you, but they're really just here for the they're here for the ball and just to talk shop with each other and that sort of thing. And what Rain is wearing a sort of suit. He's wearing a sort of dark suit, dark suit. He's got a dark sort of purpley shirt and a tie that he has barely managed to get on right. So he's smart, casual sort of look to him.
Fair enough. What's your demeanor then? How are you feeling?
Just putting on a brave face. Doing a bit better than the parade at seeming like I'm happy to be here, but I'm still not used to these sort of things.
That's fair. Okay, so I think normally, like here in Hillt, I'll just ask what scenes who we want to interact with. But I think the way I'm gonna set this up is that I think the docent is gonna come up to you, Veranda, and I'm hoping that maybe Carina and Rain will be talking there, and then you can go off and interrupt them, Veranda, and make things awkward. So I think the docent's gonna come up to you, Veranda, and well, actually, we've described the docent as you never see her walk anywhere. She always just kind of shows up. Like you never see her feet move. It's kind of creepy. So she kind of wears she's kind of like all white. Everything is what she's wearing here. Like a no, I don't know if nuns wear white. I don't know. I don't know many nuns. But she's wearing like a kind of like this white shapeless dress. She has like very like her hair is very straight and just controlled. It's like this just long black hair that is just no lock out of place. She has this like eyepiece that's kind of like a cybernetic monocle, I guess. Lets you see a lot of information. She's got this like white gloves on, and you can see Veranda poking out from her right wrist is this weird like clockwork, almost like steampunky sort of watch or bracelet, which she fiddles with a lot. She fiddles with her wrist a lot. And she comes up to you, Veranda, and like I said, she just probably just shows up behind you, and you hear her voice just go like, "Ill at ease tonight, Veranda?"
Veranda, turns around like, Madam Docent, the dose. No, I'm
Please.
great.
Docent's fine, Veranda. And there's no need to lie to me in any occasion.
Who's lying? I can dominate this gala.
Well, I don't see you dominating at this corner, waiting for things to pop off, are you? Or is this something that the youths do these days that I'm just not aware of?
Yeah, it's just very cool to be in a corner like this. What is it, Dose?
Docent's fine.
Docent. What is it, Docent?
Well, it is my job to look out for you children, and I was just curious how someone like you, judging from reports I've had from your previous squad's exploits, could just be here in the corner waiting for things instead of dominating, as you say.
I'm the dress you all gave me is too tight. It's uncomfortable.
Do you feel more comfortable in uniform?
Absolutely.
Do you feel more comfortable in the cockpit of your blade?
Do you even need to ask?
I guess not. Well, Veranda, as much as I would rather kept all of you working and training for what you all are meant to do, these ventures, they're necessary for the health of this station.
Hey, I
sure-
gotta appease the public or whatever.
That's why I need you, Veranda, to make a small sacrifice and appease the public and vacate this corner. And and I think she kind of turns and surveys the crowd, and she sees your two new squad mates, and says, "Well, if not the public, then those you'll be working with in the future. Have you talked much to either?"
No.
Well, if you're done dominating this corner, then why don't you go ahead and start making connections, so to speak? After all, you'll be working with them in the near future.
Yep. Okay. I'll go tell him what's what.
Be sure. And okay, and Veranda, she kind of leans closer. Be sure to be delicate with them. They've lost some dear squad mates recently.
Haven't
And
we all?
I'm glad to know you'll be able to put your experience to good use. And she pats you in the shoulder.
Veranda recoils uncomfortably at that. And goes over to interrupt whatever her new squad mates are talking about.
Yeah, and you don't see the docent move away. You just move away from the
Nope.
docent. That's what always happens. So yeah, Carina, Rain, what are you all up to?
I think it's probably like one of the first moments we've gotten like maybe like alone-ish because like we kept getting bombarded by either people talking about Benjen or people talking about Mars or like the last fight and everything. Um, and so like I know for sure Karina would have like gone up to Rain and be like, "You clean up nicely," and she says it in a teasing like lighthearted way, like trying to make the mood better.
Thanks. You look nice as well.
I figured I might as well do something that would have surprised even maybe the docent.
I don't know what could possibly surprise that woman.
True enough. And I think like Karina's constantly like looking around like she's worried about the docent just appearing out of nowhere kind of thing. A little bit more hyper aware than she used to be. Um I thought by now Mars would have woken. He would have loved this.
Yeah, he would.
You holding up okay?
I'm doing all right. Been sleeping a little better lately.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah. still not used to things like this, but
Yeah, I was trained on how to dance, but where I grew up, there really wasn't any call for dances or social events like this. So, it's surprisingly, I'd rather be in the parade because then no one would come near me except for you guys.
yeah. Back back home, I would have been a lot more comfortable in the field. The But well, things are different now.
Things were much different back then. Yeah. Have you? I heard we're getting a temporary, supposedly, replacement. Have you seen them around? Heard of anything about them?
I heard that we were getting a new squad mate, but I haven't met them yet. Or I think I've seen them around. They had a very flashy dress on.
I think everyone practically has a flashy dress. Well, obviously except you. At least you're comfortable, right?
I don't like ties.
I think like subconsciously Karina goes up and tries to like fix it for Rain, like to like might get so that's not super tight, obviously, but like set straight too.
Sounds like
Yeah,
we're making a connection. Oh, go keep talking.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, yeah. I was like, there, that should hopefully fit better.
Yeah, thanks.
And yeah,
It's not as
she's
tight.
definitely making a connection.
Yeah, so that's a straight roll.
Oh yeah. 6.
Wow. Okay. Well, at least I also get to see how a fight goes in this. Yeah. I think this is a good time. Oh, sorry. 6 minus the other hilt decides if you other hilt decides. If you feel closer, you gain a link. Oh, if Rain, if you feel closer, you gain a link. If not, Carina will lose a link.
I think I feel closer.
Yeah. So you gain a link, Rain.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think this is this nice gentle moment where you're interrupting, where you're fixing the time. This sounds like a good time to barge in.
Yeah, I think Veranda's gonna clap both of them on the shoulders. While they're close like this. Says, "Hey, here your squad mates keep getting put into comas."
Oh my god. Okay. So I think like Karina like kind of jumped a little bit from the clapping because like usually she's just a little bit more aware and like stares at you, Veranda, and then it's like and says that and whatever like face she was giving like Rain like closes up and she just stares at you. I take it you're the replacement?
Veranda Palisade, don't forget it.
I see another one of those. Like Karina mutters. And
So you think you know me? Uh, Fancy girl?
she doesn't say anything, she just looks at Rain like I love where our GM is covering his face. That's always a good sign.
Well, I hope you're as smooth in the cockpit as you are with your words.
I don't need to be smooth.
Carina takes a step like away, like especially if you had kept your hand like on her shoulder. What happened to your previous squad?
They all died. So really, you shouldn't feel too bad. Commas are reversible.
I guess we did better than you did.
Well, I'm alive, aren't I?
If you call this life, sure.
Don't worry, Don't worry, we'll be out of these dresses and back into flight suits soon enough.
If you'll excuse me, I think I see someone I recognize, and I'm just gonna walk away.
Sorry.
This is gonna be a roll, Rain.
Uh,
There's a move called "Stay Out of It," because the mechanized getting away from this. For fuck's sake. Also, Alex, gain a link for framing that, for getting to do that
Fuck yes.
entanglement. Yeah, so at least have one link somehow. But yeah, roll plus ego there. All right. Trying to avoid the situation.
I'm loving this so much, but yeah, it's really hard to like be like stern Carina. I'm like, this is just beautiful.
Come on.
Veranda's dice now. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so it's 6 plus ego. You said
Yeah.
it's a 6.
Oh wow.
Wait, I'm gonna spend a link so we don't go into the threat yet.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yes. Okay. That's
Because I
good.
want us to, but not just yet. This is
Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, on the 7 to 9, wrong tab. On a 7 to 9, Rain, someone will confront you. Ask who. It could be either of the PCs. I don't mind.
No, Carina would let him run.
I think Veranda then will say, wait, kid, I introduced myself. Aren't you going to do the same? Don't be in such a hurry to leave. We got to work together.
Before you say anything, Rain, you got 3 choices. You have to choose: lose a link or strain a level. That's one choice. I guess the choice to make that choice. Run away into something worse, or pick a side and get involved.
So I'm curious as to what the third one would mean in this situation. Pick a side and get involved.
I mean, you're gonna stick around and have to deal with this.
So Rain will stiffly turn around, smile, and say, my name is Rain Agata.
Well, it's very nice to meet you, Rain.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll turn to Rain. I was like, I'm feeling parched, Rain. Do you mind getting me some punch?
Yeah. I'll just see the person I was going to go see, and then bring back some punch on my way back.
Ooh, get me some punch too. Thanks.
Sure. And I walk away.
I think the GM's gonna let you, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you. Sure, why not? Yeah. Before we can figure out who, well, we don't have that many NPCs honestly, so really there's only one other NPC who's gonna talk to Rain over at the punch table, and you can already see her standing there, like a sentinel, like a terrible sentinel. Yeah. I guess we'll do that conversation first before we cut back to Veranda and Carina. Just oh my god. So yeah, You get the punch, Rain, and when you turn around, whoops, oh, there she is. Probably a person you don't want to talk to. There's the docent. Yeah, I think because you didn't really get involved, you ran away, or you were given an option to run away.
Yeah, so I'm definitely running into something worse.
Yeah. And I think she just looks at you with this like pleasant expression. I don't know if she smiles. She has expressions, and and she says, "I hope you and Carina are finding your new squad mate to be pleasant company."
No less pleasant than previous squad mates.
Well, that's good to know. Veranda was picked precisely to emulate certain characteristics of Mars, given his dire prognosis.
There's still no word on when he'll be unlocked, then?
To be perfectly honest, Rain, cases like him are terribly rare. It's a symptom of our lack of knowledge with regards to how outsiders mess with reality. That makes your job and the job of your Hilts even more paramount. After all, the more we know about outsiders, the more we take them down, the more we observe them, the better we'll know of them, and the better to save Mars. Yes?
Sure.
Well, glad to know you're dedicated to the cause, Rain.
We're dedicated to protecting the people of this station. That's why I signed up.
I think she nods and she raises you up a punch glass that you didn't know she was holding. Like, probably because in the camera shot you don't see her arms, and she did that, and you see again that bracelet that she used on Benjin. And she says, like, well, whatever the future may bring, please do make sure that Veranda is accepted to the squad. I know it's tough to have to work with someone new in such an environment, but being able to trust her ensures that all of you and everyone in the station remains free, well, she looks at the crowd, remains living.
With all due respect, ma'am, I find it very hard to trust someone who can be so chipper about the rest of their squad getting killed.
In my experience, Rain, all that chipperness, all that bravado, it's just a wall. A terribly thick, well-guarded wall, but a wall nonetheless. Wall guarding something she fiercely wants to keep to herself. Because otherwise, who knows what else can happen to her. It's not unique to her. Everyone has walls. It's just hers are more obvious.
Well, I promised I'd get some punch, so I suppose I should do that.
Yeah, I think she just like inclines for you to just go to the punch, and I think she's kind of like she's kind of like her attention slide off you and is looking at the two who are probably having some sort of conversation of some sort.
Yeah, I think like as soon as Rain's like out of earshot, um Karina looks at Veranda and goes, I made the mistake with my previous squad mates of letting them do what or say what they wanted to Rain. I'm not going to make that mistake again. I know you're trying to be buddy, but please tread lightly with him. Carina de la Cruz, by the way.
Damn, so you're kind of the mother hen, huh?
Karina rolls her eyes at that. Like, whatever. Like,
Am I wrong?
I protect Rain.
Does he need your protection?
I mean, we're here to protect the people. And someone has to help with us.
Yeah, but we're not like other people, are we?
I'm not, that's for sure.
I say you think you're special.
Oh, no. I know I am.
Well, I can actually respect that, Carina. Knowing what you are, knowing you're special, I can respect that. Might get along a little better than I anticipated.
Karina shrugs. Don't get too cocky though, just because you think you're good at what you do. Out there, as you can already tell from your previous squad, it doesn't mean anything when they have the upper hand every single time.
Yeah, don't lecture me about out there. You
Trust
think
me, I know more than you think I do.
I think you know people, but I think
Go ahead.
I think you know a lot. I think you know a lot less about other people than you think you do.
Can I make a connection to use my psychic abilities? Or
This sounds more like expressing
express?
herself.
Okay.
And I was gonna say, it sounded like Veranda was expressing herself first before you.
I was thinking either that or make a connection and like
Yeah,
telling
I-
a squad mate who they are.
Yeah, I was thinking make a connection until you all started mouthing off to each other again. And I thought, oh, you were reaching a point. Oh, damn it!
This is us. What do you expect?
Okay, all right. I think you're telling or how to work. So yes, try and make a connection first, Veranda, and then to use your psychic stuff. I think this is more express yourself.
Okay.
Karina. So start with yourself first, Veranda. Roll a straight roll.
Okay.
2d6.
Wait, so. Oh, damn it. I've unselected it. Okay, there we go. It's a 4!
Okay. Is anyone gonna spend a link? No?
I do not want to know.
Okay.
I don't want
all right.
anybody to.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh man, I didn't even ask. What was the music like in this in this ball? What kind
I
of
mean, it was all classical, right?
Yeah, so it's like techno classic.
Yeah, classical as in like, oh, we're playing hits from 2005 or something. Oh, the Fray is on. Oh, you all remember the Fray? No one from this century does.
Do I get to mechanically do my roll before the imminent threat, or?
Let me check, because I don't think so. Yeah. Oh, they must wrap up the immediate scene and then deploy. This is meant to be interrupting and disruptive. So yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay.
So, can I at least right the second before we're interrupted, you see Karina's eye, you practically see her eyes glow, and not in any metaphorical way, in a literal way, before whatever the interruption, and then yeah. You're muted, Leandra.
Yeah, so yeah, How to Save a Life ends cuts mid song,
Oh,
and
I hate you.
yeah. I think right in the middle of the third verse when he gets really whiny, and yeah, just alarms going. Rain, I think you just get your punch, and when the alarm hits, and you just hear the docent just say, "Time to go to work."
Oh,
And
thank God.
yeah, and I think we we started a bit late, but we're kind of over. We've been here for an hour, so let's take like a 10-minute break and get everyone to like calm down from all that energy. Specifically me, I guess. I have energy. Yeah, let's be back in 10 minutes, and then let's get into fighting an imminent threat. Well, first we have to build one, and then we have to fight it. So BRB.
Leandro, I'm gonna be so mad if that damn wallaby is cursing my dice rolls in this game too.
Well, look, you're not dealing with a wallaby today. You're dealing with a gecko. So I'm precisely
Yeah.
with you on that.
But what if they're in cahoots?
Yeah, they're working the same day as well. So look, it'll be fine. Besides, you and it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited to fail tons of rolls, honestly.
What, here or later?
Both. But like, especially here, I'm driving this character like a stolen car, right?
Pretty much, yeah. At least later you'll get XP for failing.
Yeah. Here, I can just fuck shit up.
Yeah. Good luck to you, a hacker droid, into a journalist escaping that archive.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, thanks for ditching us.
Look, the iconoclasts were there. What am I gonna do? Let them kill me?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I honestly I do feel bad for abandoning y'all. I might ask to, like, hey, what? Let Hector try to convince Joy to come back and save y'all or something. I do want to see him do some parkour shit, not if I'm dragging him away.
Mostly, I want to see Joy's reaction when she sees Z uploading all that data to Pirate Bay.
Those idiots at Pirate Bay won't even know what to do with that data. Our church knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dana. We're talking about another game. Just, oh, the nonsense.
I figured as much.
All right. Let's see. Last time we fought an imminent threat, it had 6 ticks on its clock, and then we lost one of our players. But it turned out well. It turned out well. Somehow. I don't know why, but it turned out well. Also, one of the other characters delimited as their first move, which was amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, they rolled a 12, and me and Dan were like, "Oh my god, that's never happened!" Yeah, you kind of have to delimit. Come on, Tony, we need to see this.
And it was cool because, like, I got to use my psychic powers to give him a little bit of agency during that fight.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hey, welcome back. All right.
Welcome.
Okay, so yeah, the alarms blare, and it's all kind of clockwork. The 3 of you are kind of ushered out by the folks who work at the garden, and you're just to like describe. I think because Alex, you didn't describe like what the inside of the station looks like. You're all kind of like in like separated biomes. Yeah, and this city that you're in is on an island. And there's water about, and you kind of take this train back to the military town where the garden's situated. And
did you ever see Star Trek Beyond?
I did.
That's the one. Okay, no, I haven't seen Insurrection or Nemesis either, but that's the one new Star Trek movie I haven't seen.
Okay. They have like it's this huge like sprawling space station that's like all these interconnected things, and so that's kind of similar to what we have.
Okay.
Over a dead planet.
I think there's something similar in other Star Treks, which I have watched. So, yeah, I think I get where you're going. Driving at.
Dan, you're a bit low as well. Your audio is coming in a bit low. Yeah.
That's because I forgot to put this down.
Okay.
Having some donuts. Sorry about that.
No worries. Okay. Yeah. So you kind of bundle this train, and this is like a special train because usually the train just goes one way. This one is like for rapid access back to the garden. It's underneath the tracks where the normal train is, but you're all still in the same box. Oh yeah, these high glamorous Hilts go to school on basically like a box compartment in the train. They just separate them from the hoi polloi. But now you have a special underneath train to go back to the garden. And I think during that journey, there's a bunch of like screens showing off some broadcasts of where the attack is happening, where the outsider is. So this is a time to build the imminent threat. If you go to the imminent threat tab, there is a bunch of questions there. You can see like
Oh, I just wanted to say, just because it's funny to mention this. On our way to getting to our blades, Karina's the type, because she doesn't know any better, to change in front of everybody. So in the boxcar, she immediately takes off her dress and changes into like, because she doesn't know any better. So just FYI for
Rain.
Honestly,
Rain has come to expect this at this point, so it has already turned around.
I think this is an issue because he turns around, Veranda's there, and she's doing the same thing.
Poor Rain.
Just desperate to not be in that dress anymore. So.
Okay. Poor Rain. Yeah. Hold on, let me just think. Okay, so yeah, in these so kind of like you're getting like news reports and broadcasts of where this attack is, and I'm thinking like this is probably in another biome. It's inside the station because last time we had a space battle. So this time you're in like a tropical sort of watery biome, and I think you can see this attack happening. You know what? Since this is the final session, I think this is also in the same biome. Actually, no. Let's make it more fun. You've been in water. You know what kind of biome do you want to see? Because this is kind of like collaborative, and when I mean collaborative, I mean you'll do most of the work, and I just describe how this thing moves. So we've had space, and you're in kind of island tropical place.
If you just for like drama and everything, it'd be kind of tragic if it was a farming type of biome similar to where Rain's family used to come from. If that's okay, Robert.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Yeah, so it looks bucolic. There's like, maybe it was night in your biome, but over there it's kind of like day. It's daytime. There's like fields and meadows, and there's this thing, kind of menacing over the small farming community. And you're all gonna tell me what that thing is. So, from these scattered reports, these cameras gonna come in. Each of you is gonna tell me what can you perceive about it, even from a distance. You can see, like, Alex, you see there down in that tab, there's examples of what people thought up. The dragonfly didn't come until much later. I added that in because that's what it was. But yeah, and anyone can jump in if you can think of what you can perceive from it, like a physical feature.
I think it just has like a gaping void for a face. Like its head sort of like folds in on itself and just like where the face would go, and it's just this black void.
Ooh, okay, black void. Gotcha. I was gonna ask if it was like a Uzumaki style spiral or whatever, but yeah, black void sounds cool. Nice. Who knows what's inside that void? No chance for a human face this time. That's good as well. That's good.
Unless the human face is inside the void.
Well, no. So, no. What you can perceive from a distance is this, and because we're not in space, so that means there's actual sound. You're gonna kill me, Leandro. It sounds to humans like a baby cry.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I was like, all right, I know it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had to deal with creepy babies when your mother came, okay? So
But that's not my fault. That's not what that incursion is about. It's about creepy babies. Like,
this is a Silent Hill monster.
Oh.
But yeah, but I said specifically humans can hear that. I hear just a normal like wailing. But for humans it sounds like a baby.
Good. Well, you've given it a voice. So I have to use that voice. Rain, what can you see?
It is surrounded by crystals,
Ooh.
which emit a sort of pulsating light, which is similar in color to the light that Rain was bathed in during the attack that he survived.
Okay. So I'm imagining then this is like, I want some input. Is this thing human shaped? Do you think?
I think it's roughly human shaped, but maybe like really, really big.
Yeah, I was imagining like almost like just a big squat sort of golem with like a big round sort of just top and the face is there. It's like a no face, but literally with no face.
Yeah, it's definitely got like arms that are too long and legs that are too short, but
Yeah. Golem with disproportionate limbs. Okay. Sure, that's how it's spelled. Okay, so having seen this creature, this outsider, what are you afraid it can do to your blade? So, like, not a complication battle, but like a physical or emotional or psychological attack. Again, when in the other game I was in, where I was playing and Darren was running, I started listing physical, emotional, psychological ways you can attack me, and he was like, "No, no, no, you just pick one. Don't give me all that info." So anyone can jump in if you've thought of one.
it can use that void face to suck in electricity from machines, air, or even human synapses.
Ooh. That's good.
This is so. This is only something that only technically Carina would know. This particular monster can technically send you to the past.
Ooh. So I need to mark down who said what fear.
I'm afraid that the crystals are able to fire something that will penetrate into the cockpit.
Okay. All right. This is all very good. And I think you're brought back to your hangars. And again, there's not much time to like take in the hangars because threats there. Get into your blades and whatnot. You can all have like a few moments to like say something to each other, and you have any like parting shots or whatever. But if not, you are gonna be bundled into your blades, which I think last time we kind of described like a space elevator taking up to the top of the station, but here I think each blade is in their own kind of like elevator tube, and you can feel the actual elevator like itself kind of the box that you're all in kind of being shifted sideways around as it's preparing to deploy you straight out into the field where this creature is. And there is a move we have to roll before called Mount the Blades. So, when imminent threat clock is filled, the hilts mount their blades and become the weapons they're trained to be. Answer the below questions and then roll plus nothing. Take advantage if you have more yeses, disadvantage if you have more no's, or normally if it is even. So, have you fought this imminent threat before? Gosh, no. I'm guessing that question is only for when people fail to defeat imminent threats, which I've never seen happen before. So good luck.
Is
You
every
don't wanna be a
imminent threat different?
Yes, depending, because the games I played have seen most of the time people do manage to defeat imminent threat, because there is a way for imminent threats to win if you roll like a 1 or a 3 in specific moves. So I think that's what this question is before, if imminent threats come back.
Yeah. The only thing I was wondering is it might be fun if this or a similar thing was the one that wiped out the rest of Veranda's squad at one point or another.
Veranda squad, and also maybe even Rain's station. Maybe this is a particularly destructive imminent threat, the outsider.
Yeah, then all of us have interacted with it at least.
Yeah. Okay, all right, there we go. Since it's our last session, let's tie it all in together. God, see, anyone watching this? I knew Alex was the best. I was not. So,
Thank you.
okay, so yeah, that's a yes. Are most of you well rested, which means most levels unstrayed? That's a yes. Does everyone have at least one link? That's a yes. Thankfully. Where the hell did Veranda get that? It doesn't matter.
You gave me a link for being a total dick to everybody.
Yes. Yeah. Fuck's sake. And are you all deploying? Yes. Okay, so that's an advantage. So, so the fun part is that Darren always rolls this, so I'm gonna roll this because I never get to roll anything, even though I'm the GM. Rolling things is fun. So with advantage, I'm gonna use Vengeance dice. He's not using it. He's okay. So advantage. So what the fuck? I'm sorry. That's a 5. Didn't expect that. So on a 6 minus, the imminent threat has 6 ticks on its clock, which makes sense if you all faced this before and it's destroyed like squads and stations. It makes sense. So let me just make that clock.
And this is why the GM doesn't roll.
Sorry about that. There we go. That's a nice pizza box of a threat clock. Yeah. You're fine. Like, look, last time was also a 6-tick monster, and you got it all fine. We lost Mars possibly forever, but yeah.
And someone delimited, but that's all good. It's like
Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, you're gonna be shot out of your chutes. I say no, the elevator's gonna come out of the ground, and it's just sunlight suddenly in your faces as the three of you are kind of like next to each other, and you see like an open. This is as open as an arena could be. This open like flat, just peaceful meadow, and you can see like a blue sky in the horizon. Though you all know that's all VR shit. So you don't know you can't tell how far the horizon goes, but it's there. And the only thing you can see in front of you, is this like round, disproportionately tall, void-faced thing, and with all these crystals kind of like just floating quietly, as it kind of like just stands, like, and slowly it's making its way through this, like, and you can see the farming community is in between you and the thing, and it's slowly making its way. It's leisurely, and how it moves, and in the distance, and you can hear it faintly. Veranda and Rain, you can hear faintly, sound of children just crying, just weeping. I'm not going to try and do that. Oh god, yeah, exactly. But it's almost like just moving leisurely. So yeah, what do you do? their coordination. Who even is the squad leader? Since the previous squad leader is in a coma.
I think
Probably shouldn't have said that. Whoops.
What are we gonna say?
Sorry.
I think Carina subconsciously takes over. Because yeah, we haven't had a chance to train with Veranda yet, so and if this is the same monster from before, she's being overprotective of Rain, and it's like shit, like no, this can't happen again, kind of thing. Um, so wait, go back. Should we describe all of our mechs again? Or
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
blades?
because I don't think we got a description of Veranda's blade. So we'll start with yourself then. We'll start in the reverse order. The character keeper. I know we have
Yeah.
pictures, but I'm delusional enough to think that people are watching this.
There are, at the very
Yeah.
least.
At the very least, Darren is probably going to watch this.
Yeah, at the very least for Darren's sake.
Even
So
though
we
he
need
has
to make
access
more
to the
fun of
character.
him and Mars, you know.
Yeah, I can't believe it. The first, do you remember in the first fight, first thing Mars did, he tried to uppercut that dragonfly and accidentally caused some asteroids to hit our way.
Right.
Oh, imagine that. I'm sorry,
So-
Darren. I'm sorry.
So,
He'll have
Karina's
his revenge.
yeah, he probably will. He'll put your character in Leandro, like into the official book as like some victim. But yeah, so Karina's blade is this very ethereal, pink looking type of mech. For the people who can't see the pictures, does not have a boob chest plate. It's just like because there's no reason for a boob chest plate, but it is very feminine looking, and the wings are kind of like hollow wings, and she can fly, and she does have like this huge gun that she can put away technically. And it has so she can fly, and it amplifies her mental powers since Karina is a psychic adept. And so she immediately flies up and kind of goes like in front of both um Rain and Veranda because she recognizes this monstrosity immediately. um and because well yeah sorry, I'm just double checking something. Yeah, so she'll turn to the two of you and be like, I'll I'll go head on, you two flank. And she'll wait for the other two to like acknowledge or whatever before like flying straight towards it.
Okay. Rain, can we get a description of your blade as you respond to this?
So, Rain's blade is sort of lightweight, sort of sinister looking, with sort of devilish horns protruding from the head, and it has a bow fixed onto its right arm, which also can produce a hard like shield in a if needed, and it has a sort of razor sharp tail that's sort of flexible behind it. I think when Carina says that, Rain's sort of just staring at this because he recognizes it as well, and is sort of staring at it, sort of frozen, and here's Carina and just gives like his mech just gives like a curt nod.
Veranda, how do you respond to this? And what does your blade look like?
Okay, so Veranda's blade is really, really big. I think it used to be like a construction robot that was like repurposed. Like it's the heavy class. I imagine, like, I don't know how big the other blades are. If we're talking like 20 feet tall, 30 feet tall, what?
I think we were saying like Pacific Rim size or smaller than Pacific Rim. I think we mentioned this in the first episode, but I can't. Yeah, like definitely no bigger than like Pacific Rim size. I think.
Okay, that's pretty huge. Okay. Yeah, I think like I mean I don't know exactly how much bigger, but like it's the biggest one here. I think it's called the Colossus or something. Yeah, it's got three on, like on one of its sides. It just has two. It has one big arm, and on the other side, it has two smaller arms. For those who can't see the picture in the character keeper, and it's just got like this one big floodlight eye. Um, it, it's built for mass destruction, and it also has electromagnetic like shielding to protect from all manner of threats, though maybe not from the thing that literally eats electricity.
Yeah, that was very good of you to tell me that that's your fear.
You're welcome. So, and I think Veranda is gonna say, "Screw that! Who put you in charge?" And charge forward.
I'll also remind folks that the interpersonal moves are also still in play. Feel like make a connection or getting introspective. So wait, so how are you charging?
Like it just kind of I mean, I say running. It's not a fast mech just because of its sheer bulk and size, and it's probably still way smaller than the imminent threat, right? Like the outsider, right? How big are we thinking that thing is?
Yeah, I would say it's big, but maybe like only like maybe 10 feet taller.
Okay. So I mean, it's just kind of like it has a long startup. But it can build up some pretty serious momentum once it gets charging. I imagine.
So we're saying it's going to take time for you to get to the mech, to the outsider.
Yeah, but it'd take more time for me to get around to flank it. Like, this is not a flanking machine.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like you're trying to maneuver towards it, and we'll see how well you do. So you roll plus id for that.
That's my good stat. That's a 4.
Oh. Okay. On a 6 okay. On a 6 minus. All right. So here's what's gonna happen. You make your way towards it, and all those crystals who are kind of just floating in the air, they stop, and they turn towards you. As you can see, like these like crystals are protruding out, and well, they look more. They really look a lot like gun turrets for some reason. And okay, so on a 6 minus, you have to roll stay out of it or face the docent's hard move. If you stay out of it, the docent still gets to make a move, but it's not like on you. It's gonna be on everyone else. So do you want to try and stay out of it, or
screw that? I'm not running.
Okay, so I don't know if you've ever felt like the force of what looks like no, it doesn't even look like 100 million like shots of. They're not even like lasers. They're like concentrated starfire and. Okay, so imagine you're being shot at by these bolts of light, but instead of light, think of like the opposite of light. Think of like just these like contained pockets of like void of like, and you can see like it looks wrong because it looks like it's shooting nothing. It's shooting like the literal definition of nothing on you, and it's your hilt is big and burly, but you're getting struck by the void. It's gonna take some serious damage, and so I'm gonna cross out a tag of yours. The durable, this durable strength. I'm gonna cross that out. So this was something like I did not do much in the previous fight because I was being nice. But this is how you this is your HP basically. It's your strengths and specialties tags. And if it let me make a hard move against you, I'm gonna start crossing the shit out of that. So yeah, you march your way out there, and you probably thought, oh, I have time to take this golem on, but no, you're not being shot at by concentrated hits of the void, as the gurgling of the baby gets louder in your cockpit. There, great word, gurgling. It's just the wrong kind of combination of syllables. In their veranda. Um, Hope you're feeling well. Yeah. So how does everyone else react to that?
Carina swears like total Mars, except worse somehow. She like thinks to herself, and because she is faster, she's gonna unsheath the blade and use her rifle to shoot at the thing.
All right. Just gonna straight up. Also remember, everyone can use links on other people's roles to bump that up to result level. Guessing no one wanted to help Veranda. Okay. All right.
I only have one link, okay?
All right, sure enough. You can get more if you make a connection or other things. There are probably other moves for that. All right. Oh, yeah,
All right, let's
okay.
see.
Roll plus E.
Oh, a 10.
Fab. Okay, so on a 10 plus, well, untick 1. But you're making progress. You're making progress. So describe to me what are you shooting at of the threat?
She is shooting at one of the protruding crystals, hoping for it to explode so it'd be one less one to worry about.
Yeah, I think yeah, so I think that totally happens. All the crystals concentrated on poor Veranda, and you're just expertly taking down a few of them enough that the barrage lessens on Veranda, and the outsider's attention kind of you can see its void face stretched towards you, and you just hear wailing as well, yeah, crying, but then you hear a voice saying, "Kin, you are kin."
She doesn't respond to it.
All
At
right.
least actively respond to it.
Okay, all right, Rain. Thank God, people with projectile weapons are trying to give covering fire to the big lumbering palooka over there. Rain, what do you do?
So I'm gonna stick with the original plan, and I'm trying to swoop behind the outsider and fire some shots at its back.
Okay, since given Carina got a 10, yeah, I think you can definitely swoop as it's busy screeching words at Carina. This sounds like another unsheath the blade. Plus ego.
Okay, dokie. That's it. 9. No,
All right.
No. 8. Sorry.
Okay, cool. So on the 7 to 9, I'm gonna take another one, but you, Rain, must introduce an unexpected change in the conflict.
So it has crystals at its back as well.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, when you shoot its back, it looks like you're breaking its I'm imagining it's having yeah, it's I'm imagining its skin is papery gray for some reason, it's mottled. So when you shoot its back, cracks start appearing in its skin, and it starts these jagged crystal spires start sticking out. And it's like the golem starts kind of leaning forward as if it's it's growing a hump on its back, but the other two can see, yeah, it's this big tall crystal tower kind of coming out as it kind of leans forward, and its movement is just a bit more slow, but yeah, it's a nice change there. And yeah, baby crying as always. I think that's just the soundtrack of it. If I can find a 10-hour video of baby crying, just imagine that, and I don't know, whatever symphonic music Ava has as a soundtrack. So Veranda, the barrage is off you for the moment, and you see your squad mates are doing quite well. What do you do? How does that make you feel?
Sorry, that was me. I zoned
Yes.
out for a second. Okay. She's pissed. I'm pissed. Fuck. My armor doesn't do anything against this thing. Rain, Carina, draw its fire. I'll get in close.
It sounds like also you're getting introspective, just like thinking about this. I just want to look. It's a chance to get more links, or
Sure.
maybe
Yeah.
straight level.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, you're getting introspective. Roll plus super ego, and also if then people can get introspective to reach out before you roll. But does anyone want to reach out to Veranda? No. Okay. Fair enough.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. No, I think she's kicking herself mentally for not realizing that would not work, that this is how her squad mates died, etc., etc. Oh god, it said it was a 3 and a 1 for a second, but did I? Okay, it looks like it's a 9.
3 and 6, yeah.
Yeah,
on my end.
yeah. It's a 9.
Okay. Anyone want to bump that up to a 10? No.
No, nine's okay. It's not a failure.
Yeah, but it's still kind of on a 7 to 9, you either strain a level or tell someone what's going on.
Oof, that's a tough one.
Yeah, and I'll pull the same thing Darren pulled on me. You have to do it now if you're going to tell someone what's going on. You can't save it. You can't bank it for later.
Okay. I'll strain a level.
God damn it.
Those walls are thick, man. I don't. It does not make like narrative sense to me. Like, it does not make sense to me in the moment that she would.
That's fine. Just change colors and that. Okay, so while you've bottled in all that that information, all those feelings, So what is operationally? What are you doing, Veranda? We'll stick to you for the moment.
Well, yeah, I want to kind of casually order them to draw its fire because they're faster, and allow me to get. She's actually trying to think tactically now, which is like, oh, my mech is still better like in a close-up brawl. They have more range attack, but if they haven't managed to draw away its fire yet, then basically I think the Colossus will launch some missiles from its back.
Ooh, some missiles. Okay, so let me see. Let me just look at some of the moves here. So I think it sounds like you're trying to create an opening for them to like just do what you're saying, like, or you're just attacking it from afar.
I guess I'm trying to create an. I mean, I want them to create an opening for me.
Okay, all right.
I mean, yeah, Carina would shoot again. Like she's like her goal is to get up close and shoot for greater impact.
Okay. I think we'll move on then from Veranda. I think it's nice to just see her get pissed and like order people around, and then
I mean, in Karina's mind, she's just doing what she was thinking of doing anyways. Like she wasn't taking
a teenager thing to do.
Yeah. So
sounds like you're trying to create an opening then for the Colossus.
Yeah. So that would still be unsheath the blade, or
this is activate, I think.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, super
That's
ego.
my +1. 10 + 1, 11.
Okay. Oh man, if we gotten a 12, that would have been amazing. But no, 10's also pretty good. So, on a 10 plus, you're gonna ignore the strain.
So everyone gets advantage next turn.
Yes.
So
Next time you unsheath the blades. What does this look like?
So she's still shooting, like to draw its attention away, but she's using the whatchamacallit, the mental amplification. And I think she doesn't realize she's doing this, but like as she's shooting, she's sending like a message back to the outsider, and it's something like not again.
You stand against us?
Yes. And I don't think she realizes she's actually talking.
Yeah, so it's Rain. You hear Veranda give the order. You're probably an exasperated sigh from Carina. Then she does her thing, and you hear her just randomly say yes. What are you doing, Rain? The big tower thing is coming out. You don't know what it's doing, what's it gonna do. But yeah, what do you do?
Yeah. I don't know what that is or what it's going to do. So I want to try and get out of the way.
All right, so sounds like a maneuver.
So okay, so it is 0. Okay. That's a 6.
Okay, all right. Okay, so stay out of it, or you're gonna be hit.
I'm gonna try and stay out of it.
Okay, so roll plus ego.
Oh, that's a 12. Yeah, 12.
Yeah. Okay. So it's nice. Yeah, you get a chance. Okay. So what you manage to stay out is that yeah, what happens is you can feel like gravity kind of being eaten towards this crystal spire as suddenly as at the last second you manage to drop as it just shoots out this horrific beam of nothing coming out of its like tower back. It's like one just big beam, and you barely manage to get out of there. And you can feel like as it's going, it's sucking in kind of like what humans defined as gravity through their laws of physics. And because it's defined, it can be taken. And this is what this beam is doing. But you're fine. You managed to get away. You just managed to get away as that beam, this like I don't know how to describe a beam that is just an absence, but that's what it is. And it's gonna smash against the fake sky, and you can see like the sky cracking. So yeah, there's now a big crack in the sky, but it's still standing.
If I see that happening, I'm gonna throw myself in front of that beam.
Okay, what? Okay. Shite. It sounds like an active. Take control of the battlefield.
Remember, you're talking to the only one that purposely joined the squad to help.
You don't know. Okay. Okay. That sounds like an activate. Okay. What I love about this group keeps surprising me with their bullshit. Let's get that out of the way first. Rain, a roll plus super ego.
That's a 9.
Okay, so describe to me how you manage to block the absence as you strain a level and everyone takes an advantage when they go unsheath the blade.
So does that mean double advantage since I'd given everyone advantage?
I think
Or is it-
I'll make a note to ask Darren that, but for
Yeah.
now, because I like to be nice, sure, why not? Look, having advantages isn't a guarantee. You could roll like 3 ones. It could still happen. So okay, yeah, Rain, how are you doing this with your blade?
So, Rain pulls up his shield to try and block the beam, and it basically the nothingness wraps itself around him and starts pulling him towards the the outsider.
Yeah, and I think you're actually when you're pulling the beam, you're actually pulling against it because it's still the beam is coming out of its spire tower thingy, and yeah, it's very well distracted. And yeah, you know when the baby's gurgling, no, the baby's straight up crying. It's like, and it's not just one baby; it's an army of babies. It's a cacophony of crying and weeping and it's ugly crying, it's like tears and snot and whatever comes out of their mouth. Yeah, actually, and you can hear that Veranda as well. But looks like your squad mates are following what you're doing, what you instructed them to do.
Okay. I'm gonna go in and punch this thing right in its stupid void face.
Yeah, that's gonna end well.
I have double advantage. It's fine.
That just means you have one advantage now and you have another advantage later. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You're not gonna roll 6 dice.
That would be really funny, but okay. Yeah.
It'll be funny.
Okay. So that's an unsheath the blade, right?
Yes. So you roll 3d6 and take the 2 highest.
Okay. Let me I need to add another red die.
No worries.
Or you could steal the yellow die.
That seems wrong.
Oh, poor Benjamin.
Okay. So that one's a 4. And then 5 and a 6. Okay. So that's an 11.
Yeah. So on a 10 plus, on tick 1. So yeah, describe to me how you're punching in this stupid void face.
So okay, so I think what it is with the big arm, or it softens it up a bit with the 2 little arms, and they just like I'm looking at the picture I have, and it sort of has like spinning hands. So I think it's almost like a saw blade if a saw blade weren't sharp. If it were blunt force instead, like 2 of those battering it like in the torso to get it to hunch over, and then using the big fist to just punch it just straight in its electricity eating hole.
Yeah, and I think because there's so many arms, like it's trying to concentrate, but it's trying to you can see the void mouth almost like kind of when you punch in the face, it tries to like contract and try to eat your arm, but you're surprisingly fast because you have so many arms as well. You're getting into it, and yeah, you're doing well. But I think when you punch it in the void face, there's like a momentary glimpse kind of like overtakes you just for a second. It's not going to affect you in any way, but like a bit of a memory just hits you. Where were you the last time you fought this thing?
I think it was in space. And it was really weird seeing how this thing moved because it didn't seem to like have any propulsion. It just kind of it wasn't even like it was swimming. It just
It's walking.
Yeah, like it was like simultaneously floating and walking and jumping around. Like it was not moving how any physical object should move in space.
Maybe the glimpse you get is like it's walking and it's trotting on the broken blade of one of your squad mates, and it doesn't make sense because it's not pressing against anything, but it's pressing upon this other blade, and you get that just a glimpse of that memory, but then you're back to punching this thing in the present.
She punches harder. Like
I remind folks that you're connected to your blade psychosomatically, so any injury that comes to your blade, you'll feel it. So, yay! Yeah. So, Karina, actually, you know what? We're top of the hour. I think that's a good cliff. That's a good like the eye catch comes in, and if this is Ava, there's a pretentious title for that eye catch. So let's take 5, and then we'll come back and finish this thing off. All right. So, um, so we got that memory. And Veranda is just punching it in the face again. Carina, you can see, is Veranda vocalizing anything? Oh, she's angry.
I mean, she's doing the anime scream, like angry scream.
That's good.
That's how she reacts to sad traumatic memories.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Can Karina see that Rain had doing what he was doing?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's a very open like field, so there's nothing hidden there. You can totally
Okay.
see what Rain's doing.
Well, because he was behind, so I just wanted to make sure.
Hmm.
Like, well, ish. Okay, so I think Karina's a little freaked out because obviously Veranda doesn't realize, like, hey, you're punching the area where you can get sucked into another timeline, and and she knows, yeah, like she doesn't want Rain to take another beating like last time, even though his blade's made for that kind of. Still. um, so before she acts, she's actually gonna get introspective because she's not liking that this one's talking more to her too.
Oh, does anyone want to reach out? Or you all are busy. Busy with traumatic memories or
I'm
dealing with
also
nothing.
anime screaming.
Okay, all right.
You're
Okay.
both trying to what's overtake the baby crying, right?
Yes. Yeah, probably. Yes. Oh my god, the soundtrack to this like session was terrible.
We'll have
Like
to
the
find a
poor,
mix to do it.
yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So when you
Um,
narrate how you're feeling responding to any situation, roll plus super ego.
yeah. So, I think she's readying for another attack, but seeing this and kind of having a mini freak out. Um, Actually, before this does the outsider try to say anything else to her?
Who? Um, I think it says, "We miss you."
Yeah, okay. So I think with everything that's been going on and like normally when the outsiders try to talk to her, she's able to like, just dismiss it or whatever or just shake it off. This time it's more like especially after after she tried to be defiant against the docent and like, well, what if I don't help you guys anymore? Um a small tiny part of her is like, I kind of miss you too. Because she, um, so she's trying to go back and try to like in her introspectiveness, unexpected introspectiveness, um, trying to figure out where her loyalties really lie. Like she does, like at the very least, she wants to protect Rain. Like she's committed to that. Like ever since like that day years ago. But beyond that, she technically doesn't have to worry about Veranda or anybody else. Like, so that's kind of like why can't she go back? Kind of thing. So let's see how I roll. Why are you freaking out?
Plus super
Ooh,
ego.
6, so 7.
Okay, cool. So, sure you don't want to bump that up to 10?
No, I'm saving. I'm expecting. I'm trying to. Depending on where we land with this
Okay.
fight, I want to do something with that link.
Does anyone want to bump that up to 10? Or are you too busy angry anime screaming? Yeah, they both are. Okay. Fair enough. So, on a 7 to 9, you strain a level or tell someone about what's going on. And the fun thing is, you can. I think if you try to you vocalize what you're saying, I think it's gonna come out to the other two. I think this is what's gonna
Yeah,
be.
no, yeah, that exactly. Like, I think she meant to psychically only tell Rain, but but instead she's saying it out through the comms so that both hear. Um, And it's not like she specifically like calls out Rain's name. She's just like talking out. Like she has this connection. And so, and obviously it's not going to make too much sense to Veranda unless Veranda can think quickly. Um, it's basically along the lines of like, I'm tired of fighting this. I need to protect you, but they keep calling me back, and I don't see why I can't go back. It's not fair. I didn't choose this. I just want this to be over. I miss belonging somewhere.
So Rain, to you, you heard that. Oh, Veranda did as well, but everyone did. It probably hopefully cuts through it gets to you while you're screaming. But yeah, what do? You're wrapping up this beam of nothing, and you just heard what Carina said. Bet you wish you had reached out now, huh? No, too late.
I think Rain's not saying this out loud, but the reason he's angry, the reason he's screaming, and even hearing Carina is like, he doesn't want to lose anyone else. He doesn't want anybody else to suffer because of what a few people did. And he's just like, there has to be a way to stop this.
Are you also getting introspective?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Everyone's. I like that once you kind of get this outside control, everyone just has like, oh, Felix. Go ahead, we'll play super ego.
Okay, so that's 9.
Okay. Strain a level or tell someone what's going on.
Oh.
And again.
I could do a thing, but I don't know what to do if I do the thing.
What's the thing? Oh. I see. So you want to strain a level then? Oh God. Okay. All right. This seems appropriate. I'm surprised you didn't get there. Yeah. So I'm assuming you're gonna strain your super ego. And let me read out the move that I'm perusing for everyone here. If your ego and super ego are strained, you can choose to delimit. So you're gonna do that.
I think I'll wait, and if I roll a 6 minus, then it'll happen.
Oh no, that only happens automatically if all your levels are strained. When your ego, super ego are strained, you can choose to.
Okay.
But he can choose later, right?
Yeah, you can choose. Yeah, totally. Okay, so Veranda, angry screaming and everything. You heard Carina said. I think if you had any suspicion before, you can probably tell. I don't know. That's up to you. Actually, I shouldn't be just dictating your character's thoughts for you. But yeah,
I don't think she had any suspicion that Carina's an outsider. So I don't think she thinks that now. Like, it's some weird phrasing, but also she's probably only really processing like half of what Carina has said. But I mean, she stops her anime scream and says, "We all want this to be over. Stop being a pissy baby about it."
All right, that sounds like an express yourself. You're externalizing feelings without reflecting on them. Jesus Christ. Is that okay?
All right. Yeah.
Roll plus id.
That's a 10.
Wow. So on the 10 plus, you get what you want for better or worse. Everyone listens and watches, so you can keep going with this.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think I, as a player, have the words right now, but it's something to the effect of, none of us wanted to be here. We all want this to be over, but we have a job to do and people to protect. So step up and get a fucking hold of yourself.
Maybe you're doing this as you're still punching it.
Oh yeah, still punching.
I think,
and yeah,
you probably get another glimpse just for another second as soon as you finish saying this. What's it doing this time? Oh, maybe this time, this time the glimpse is a big spike of crystals burst out of its arm, and it's spiking through another blade straight through the cockpit.
Oh yeah, and I can absolutely hear their scream vividly over comms.
Yeah.
Or the scream and then the very sudden cut off of the scream. And that, flashes, and then she sort of shakes her head and then says this thing about, we have a job to do, so pull yourself together.
Carina. Also, Rain can heard all that as well, probably. Well, no, that's up to you. That's up to you, Veranda. If
that was on all comms. Like,
okay,
that's not. Yeah.
If Rain wants to react before that, that might change
I think
how Carina responds.
Rain's going to try through the beam that's encasing him to raise his bow and fire down at the spike.
Okay. That sounds like, I think that's a straight up unsheathing. It sounds like. Maybe you still have advantage.
Yes,
I forgot where that roll came from, but I know people have double advantage. So 3d6, take the highest.
So does that cancel out my?
Oh yes, because you have strain. So yes, it's just a straight roll then. Roll plus ego. But yeah, you use up one of your double advantages. But that just means you're not at a disadvantage. What's up? What's up, buddy?
A free.
It's a fail.
Oh shit. Okay, let me read that. There's something special on happens when you roll 3. On a 1 to 3, the docent will ask everyone, can you win this fight? Decide in private, then when everyone has an answer, reveal simultaneously. So what I'm gonna do is you're gonna type it in the chat. Don't press enter yet. You're gonna type in the chat if you think if you can win this fight.
Is this what we as players think, or as our characters think?
Ooh, I'm gonna ask Darren to I think characters.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm on 3. You're gonna press enter. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, majority says yes. So if majority yes, refill the imminent threat clock. I'm sorry. To 4 ticks, even if it started with more. Okay, so I think. Okay, what does that mean? If majority yes, refill the imminent threat clock to 4 ticks, even if it started with more. Let's see. You were at 3. So I think what's gonna happen is, I'm gonna take back those 3 ticks. Actually, you know what? We have half an hour. I think I'm just gonna take back 2. Or is that being?
Wait, I thought it said it just refill it to 4 ticks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's a little ambiguous.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna.
What it sounded to me was like, even if the max is 6, as long as it's like less than 4, it just fills back up to 4.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how this works in roll party, how to take back these ticks.
I think you have to just cycle through.
Okay. Beep, beep. I mean, in the interest of time, I am just gonna give you all a tick, and then see how you go. All right, there we go. Just in the interest of time, because we have half an hour, and you probably it feels like you're gonna use most of this fight to get over each other's different neuroses.
So we just need 2 more, right? Then, if I'm understanding correctly, we need to untick 2 more,
Hold on. I'm not sure.
or is it 4? Like, I'm confused by the way the clock looks.
Oh, okay. Oh, because what's meant to be is that when you're what it actually means is that when you fill up the imminent threat clock, what you're actually doing is taking away ticks. So it just looks different
Oh,
from the way I'm using the clock. So like when the imminent threat happens, imagine a filled clock, and what you're actually doing is taking away. That's what it
okay,
means to refill back to 4. And because you've
okay,
only taken away 3, it actually should just go back to the start.
okay,
But because I want to be nice, I'll add another tick there. So instead of having to fill it up 6 times, you have to fill up 5 times.
okay.
This is just me.
Yeah, that's totally not understandable at all.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, you try to shoot this um this spire tower thing, and then what's going to happen is the beam's actually going to drag you forward, Rain, and what's going to happen is the tip of the crystal spear is going to slowly kind of like pierce through your blade. I'm gonna cross out a tag of yours, shielded, not really. And I think as the crystal is slowly kind of like piercing through your shield and it's going to come to your blade. Yeah. I don't know what I was doing there. I think you start getting glimpses back. What's the smell of the station when it was being attacked, of Roanoke Station?
Smell. It's the smell of thunderstorm. Actually no, like more like the smell of an electric fire, sort of. Like that sort of acrid smell that you get when plastic or something is burning.
Ugh. Yeah, so you just get a brief smell of that. And Carina, because we can skip over you. Yeah, you see the blade of I forgot Rain. Oh, thunderstorm! I get it now. Rain. Yeah, getting dragged to this crystal. It's the crystal protrusion. What do you do, Carina?
Karina cries out for rain. She did hear what Veranda said, and obviously because Veranda rolled well, she technically has to do what Veranda said. But at the same time, she's like, You don't understand. It's never gonna stop. It'll never stop when you people are stuck here. And when I'm stuck here, so I'm going to do the move. I am thou, thou art I. Which is reveal the truth of your blade, gleaming and terrifying. Roll it plus a number of links you have. I think like all this time, like Karina uh hasn't been using her full extent of her powers and everything. Part of it because like she was always afraid because she did grow up with humans. She got attached to them, so she's always afraid to hurt people by accident and everything. But because she's been holding herself back. One's in a coma, one's in a forced coma because of her. Um, the new person might get sucked into another timeline, which even though she doesn't like the new person, they don't deserve that. And then Rain's getting hurt, and she promised herself that she'd never let Rain get hurt or die. So what happens is her ethereal wings kind of like wrap around her, and they start spreading and makes like this like cocoon basically. And she's not anime shouting, but there's definitely like this like rumbling kind of noise that's happening like through like, and both Veranda and Rain can hear it, but they don't hear it through their comms, they hear it through their heads. Like kind of like the baby, like, and it cuts out the baby cry. Like no longer can you hear the baby crying. Um and when she emerges, like the mech is completely different. It almost looks like kind of like the organic Evangelion mechs, but not as disgusting looking. um but still kind of disturbing to the human eye, because it's very organic, a mix of humanoid and like geometric, and the wings are kind of like tattered now, but she still has them. And she can basically, instead of having the rifle, it's full on psychic attacks that can only affect the outsiders.
Nice.
And let's roll to see how that transformation happens.
Yeah, let's see roll how well it does.
Plus my one link.
Yeah, oh, that's why you're holding on to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping to gain another link, but that didn't happen.
No. Oh dear.
So that's a 7.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. I forgot. Yeah. Plus the one link.
Yeah.
Clearly, you have the one link. So it's a difficult transformation. It's yeah.
Oh yeah, it's very painful.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well, you actually get to relieve a level. Okay. You don't need to, but yeah, you lose your link. You lose that one link. That
Yeah.
one link. Oh god. So yeah. Glorious transformation. Creepy organic angel. So angel. Hey, Eva reference. There we go. Yeah. So Veranda, in response to your admonishment, Carina transformed into a horrific angel of death. What's up? What's up with you?
I think she's mostly like, what the hell, squad? I'm used to squads having like trauma and sad backstories. You know, my previous squad had all those. But what the hell did I like get myself into here?
You thought you had the worst backstory. Well, get a load of these too.
Just the one. Responding to the chat, how many squads have gone through? I think just the one. Although I think there've been people cycling through that squad a bit. So I mean, just based on her previous experience, like yeah, trauma, sad backstories is one thing. Transforming into whatever the fuck is happening right now is another. So I think she's. I think she's just gonna say, "What the hell?" And kind of like Carina still seems to, but also like there's still a threat that needs to be dealt with, and she can confront Carina about whatever the hell this is after the threat is dealt with.
I love that, like in response to Carina making like this like big character development, the transformation. It sounds like Ryan's response is just like, yeah, sure, and turns back to the outside and keeps beating it up. Is that what it sounds like?
I mean, it's definitely not quite that cavalier. It is because like what is it? I don't know, but it's like what I'm still punching. I'm still dealing with this. You know, we're still dealing with this big fucking crystal void face golem.
Yeah.
That seems like the more immediate threat.
Yeah, I think what you actually see is that even though it's still kind of hunched over, and you can see Rain kind of can slowly get pierced by the crystal spider, it raises its void face to look at Carina as that's happening, as if also to kind of just ignore you, but that gives you kind of an opportunity.
Yeah, I'm gonna launch a volley of missiles into its face.
Nice. Unshi. Roll plus ego. Unshi, wait, you still have advantage. It's the second of your double advantage.
Well, technically, I didn't like need it, but I rolled express yourself before, which would have been the second roll. So
Well,
I
the
don't
thing is,
think.
you should only have gotten advantage on unsheath the blade.
Oh, okay. I see.
But I'll let that slide. That's fine.
I didn't use it. I didn't need advantage. I rolled a 10 without using advantage. I had forgotten about it. So okay. So that's a 6. I mean, I have a link. I'll use the link.
Okay.
Unless Rain wants to use one of his 3 links, but it's fine. I'll use my 1 link.
Bit of shade there, okay?
No,
No,
I'm fully joking. If you want to save him up for a reflect or whatever, do it. I'll use my link. It is seriously fine.
Right, so I've unticked 1. You must introduce an unexpected change in the conflict then.
I think, like, another smaller golem, but like without the crystals, crawls out of the mouth of this golem.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Of course, making way more baby sounds.
Damn it.
And it's like covered in, newborn baby gross stuff. Of course.
Why keep adding? Okay, all right, okay.
Okay,
Sure.
I'm done.
Are you? Oh, I need a second. Hold on. I need a second. Okay. So yes, yeah, you're punching it. Yeah, and I think when you kind of go for the void phase again, yeah, you just get pushed out as this smaller thing just rockets out of it, clinging to your arm, as it's also a smaller void face. It's kind of like you can feel like it's fairly weak, but it's vicious, it's scrappy, it's hanging onto your arm. And yeah, and you think Carina managed to cut through the baby gurgling. Well, you can actually just hear it. The sloppiness of the gurgling. Just and I don't think it's powerful enough to give you a third glimpse of what happened. I'm going to save that for later when something really bad happens. Rain, yeah, I think the beam actually stops dragging you because this thing is distracted by Carina's glorious transformation. So you've got a moment, but yeah, your blade is being pierced.
So I'm gonna brace, like I'm grabbing the top of this spike, and bracing myself against it so that it can't pull on me. And I'm gonna try and cleave through with my tail.
All right. This sounds like activate. Because you're drawing on the power of your blade, specifically your tail. To create an opening for yourself. So roll plus super ego.
Super ego. Yeah, I strained super ego, so I should add another one. Am I still getting advantage, or is that...
That's from sheath the blade.
Okay. Reroll selected. So that's the lowest are a 1 and a 2.
Oh my god. On a 6-, either express yourself or face my hard move.
I will face your hard move.
So you swipe the tail at the crystal thing, and another offshoot of crystal juts out and slices, no, pierces the tail, and it almost like it's weird. This like protrusion from the crystal spire. It's almost like it's moving up and down on the tower itself. So it's gonna pierce through the tail, and it's gonna pull, and using the kind of the gravity it's taken, it's gonna rip the tail off your blade. So I'm crossing out prehensile tail. Yeah, Carina. Glorious Carina.
Well, I'm curious. What does the outsider say? Witnessing this transformation.
Okay. I think it says, "You look beautiful."
I think she has a moment of shoot. Do I really want to roll for this? Well, I'll say it and then you let me know. I've done this in a couple of other games, but hey, I like doing it. When she hears that, like a big part of her like shudders at like when they had said like we miss you, she longed for that, but this had the opposite effect. But she says, and of course she doesn't realize she's saying it so that everybody could hear. If I go with you, will you let them go?
I think time stops for a moment. You know that big. It's just an anime thing of like just time just goes, and we cut to Veranda, who's dealing with the fucking creepy baby golem. Rain, whose tail's torn off, and I think you hear the outsider say, "Will you stand with us?"
So, out of character, she's doing this purposely as a lie.
Ah,
So she's gonna say yes. So, but I'm curious if I need to roll something to convince.
this sounds like a maneuver.
Okay, because she's gonna say yes.
Okay, all right.
So roll plus id.
Let's see how this goes.
Come on, dice. 7.
All right. On a 7 to 9, the docent will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, ugly choice. Anyone want to? Well, I say anyone. Only one person can bump this up.
I will spend a link to bump that up.
Nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So that means you're going to be entangled in this move that Carina about to do. So 10 plus, you do it. Answer me a question about the situation. They can take advantage.
So my doing it
after that info,
is purposely. So that means like I lie and say yes and they believe it, right? Because essentially that's what I'm trying to do.
Yes.
So I guess my question would be, the situation described. Well, I'm doing this to find its weak point so that we could just like destroy it completely.
Is that a question or?
Yeah. Like, well, that's
What
what like
point?
that's implied. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like Karina's like in her new glorious blade is going towards, I guess, whatever would be considered, if it's the void or some other part where it would be like, the face, the mouth or whatever,
Yeah, I
or the eyes
think
or whatever. Yeah.
yeah. I think you because its defenses are down because it's buying into your lie, you can get like a glimpse of its internal workings. And like people have, shot it or try to hit it or do anything, but like to really like kill it in one go, and I'll just say you can do it in one go if people can do this, you have to go deep into the void. And like you can't just punch in it. You have to reach in and find and you'll find its internal workings there. And it's other if people can do that, then yeah, you can take it out.
Does Veranda still have all their arms, like their blade arms?
Yeah, they're kind of dealing with a baby thingy, but you can probably deal with that fine. Oh, sorry, Veranda, you should repeat that. I should be.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I got all three arms. Though probably the best one for reaching in and pulling shit out is the big one that is currently occupied by baby golem.
Okay.
Still, well, it has it. You just okay.
Yeah, I might be like it depends on what the baby is actually doing. But theoretically, yeah, could reach in and
Okay.
pull its guts out.
So I psychically talk to Veranda and I say, I know you don't trust me, but please trust this. If you want this to end, you need to reach in there and pull out. There's mechanisms inside this thing, and we'll finish it off. And
sorry.
yeah, sorry, no, that yeah.
I think then Veranda, not really even realizing that it's psychic, and I think she sort of thinks in response, though not really intent, just thinking to herself, but like it's still psychically transmitting. And she's just thinks, yeah, that makes intuitive sense. Pull out its guts, and it's gonna do it.
All right. Okay. So you're gonna take advantage of this, and yeah. Because again, we're a bit pressed for time. I'm just gonna say, this roll, which I think is gonna be an activate, because you're trying to. Well, actually, no. I think this is just straight up unsheath. Actually, let's just go straight up unsheath. This roll is less gonna be about if you defeat it, and more like how you survive this, how well you survive this.
Okay.
Like I'm twisting the rules a bit, but look, for time,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind.
Yeah, we can do whatever you want.
I mean, the thing is, just this is just my thinking. This for when I'm running stuff, I want to make sure, like, we can go over a bit, but I don't want to be too much. So, and narratively, this makes sense.
Yeah, okay. I will roll with advantage, +0. That's a 10.
Hey. Okay. So yeah, tell me how you do this, Veranda. How you finally take this thing down?
I think the baby is like clawing and screaming and trying to like restrict the Colossus's movement. So she activates that like electromagnetic shielding and just kind of fries the baby. And then like the big golem looks down and it opens its maw and she like rocket propelled fist arm just reaches in there. I think she has to like jump up a little bit. And there's like tubes. There's like gears and mechanisms, and also like tubes filled with fluid. But I mean, she just kind of grabs while she's up in the air, and as she's falling back down, raises her arm, and so it's sort of in one motion. And there's this great still shot of like all the stuff coming out of the mouth of the golem.
Yeah.
Then she like punches the golem one last time with the stuff in her fist and drops it. And I think the crystal recedes. That's been dealing like threatening rain recedes into the thing's corpse, as if it were, and like as the only sign it had being there being like the cracks in the skin in the first place.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like Rain, as your blade kind of lands back down. Yeah, back down the ground. You probably get like just another glimpse of your station. What was like? I don't know, you tell me. What was it like that day? It's like a tiny glimpse.
So I'm in the fields, like the hydroponics fields, where my family worked, and everything is dead. All of the plants are withered, as if they had aged and died. Time had passed and they just withered away.
Picked the wrong time to start drinking this. Always do that. Yeah, I think Carina, as it dies, I don't think you feel. No, I think what you'll only get is another whisper, and they've always just whispered to you. And I think it says, as it dies, "We will always be part of you," and then it's gone.
Because since we're inside a biome, as soon as it looks like it's 100% dead, Carina lands her blade, and she gets out immediately.
Yeah, Veranda, how are you feeling?
Exhausted. I think Veranda does the same, although involves climbing out the top of her blade, and instead of climbing down immediately, she just kind of sits there on the top of the dormant colossus and looks down at Carina.
Rain, how are you feeling?
I think Rain. Is it psychosomatic or is there physical?
It's psychosomatic.
Yeah. So Rain will also disembark from his blade and is sort of clutching his chest where the spike was penetrating.
Yeah, I think oh, go on, Carina.
Oh, yeah. I think for a moment Carina had was just having a panic attack, but like she's always kind of aware where Rain is. So as soon as she like senses that Rain's like on the ground, she'll like give one glance to make sure Veranda's okay, because Veranda was in the midst of that thing, um, and then goes over towards Rain to make sure he's okay. And she doesn't realize it, but Karina's skin has changed. It's no longer like the tanny brown that it was. There's like thin lines, like vein, like almost like gold veins, kind of like scattered across like what visible you could see of her skin. And she just goes to Rain's like, "Are you okay?" And she kind of like collapses on her knees like next to him because she's extremely exhausted, not realizing her transformation.
I think Rain's sort of also collapsed, like on his knees a bit, clutching his chest, and looks up and startles for a moment when he sees the change in you, but then just takes you and pulls you into a hug.
And Karina hugs back, and I think after a moment, like once again, she doesn't realize she's thinking it, but she kind of psychically like asks Veranda to like come down, because since Veranda was still sitting on the mech, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she climbs down. It takes a minute. I think she's like literally normally like when she gets out of the mech, it's like back at the base and there's like a platform at the top. But here, I think there's like a little ladder built into the back of the Colossus that goes all the way down one of its legs. She has to climb down that manually. So it takes a minute. And walks over and kind of tiredly says, your skin's all fucked up."
And like she just looks up at Veranda, and she doesn't obviously notice it yet. She doesn't really pay attention to her, and just gives like this weirdest look to you, like, "Are you alright in the head?" kind of thing. And I think she just because she's totally oblivious. She's like, "You don't look so hot either." And she says this while she's still holding on to Rain.
Oh damn! Okay. I think Veranda laughs actually, and sort of sits down with them, and just kind of lies back in the grass.
Yeah, I think that's a good shot to like finish off there. I was gonna ask if there's anything else that to enable. I don't know if I want to epilogue this. Well, yeah, let's have like a quick just shot. What was the last thing we kind of see of each character as we kind of close off? Could be anytime in the future. Could be like even like a few minutes after this, or half an hour after this, or years. I don't know. So yeah, let's start. Let's go over to the character keeper. Let's start with the Veranda. What's the last we see of you?
I think there's I think there's I think it's after they get back, and Veranda just goes back to her room or quarters or whatever they have. I don't know what their living situation is. And just lies down. I think grabs a grabs a photo of her previous squad, looks at it, puts it back, is about to get back up, and falls asleep.
Of course. God. Rain, what's the last we see of you?
I think Rain is in the changing rooms and is just like splashing some cold water on his face to sort of calm down. And he looks up into the mirror and sees like a sort of swirling color in one of his eyes.
Come on, your last character also had a bad ending. You can let this one have a good one as well? Okay, all right.
It's ambiguous. It doesn't mean it's bad.
It doesn't have to be bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, I mean, technically, last character had an ambiguous ending as well. It's just her trying to fight off this evil demon. Carina, what's the last we see of you?
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna give the bad ending. Kind of bad. It's like a few days later. I think everyone was probably like quarantined technically since this was a big monster that had been recurring for decades. And she's walking into what was a familiar room to her, and that was her previous housing situation. And it's the docent promising that it's only temporary, but with the new developments that she has, that she cannot hide, obviously, because her skin never went back to like normal, that they'll have to run some more tests. And Carina like has like a set, like, it's very old fashioned, and I think it's probably only used like once in a while, but like she has a set of letters, and they're all including Veranda, like addressed to everyone in the squad. And it's like, and you'll give these to them, right? And she has enough like trust in the docent that maybe the docent will agree to this. It's like, but let them know I will be back.
The docent takes your letters and she smiles and she says, "Oh, don't worry. There's always a way back." And for a moment, you kind of see, like, just the tingle underneath the docent's skin as well. Just a tingle of gold running there. Just for a moment. Don't know if you imagined it or not.
Right. It's been a long couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so okay, I'm so tired. But oh god, that was a roller coaster and a half.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. Normally I kinda want to put debrief off broadcast, but I'm terrible at taking notes. So if you have any feedback for Darren, we'll just do it here. So he can see this. If that's okay with y'all.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
There you go.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Let's not say what you're crying about. So
Yeah, just leave it mysterious.
Yeah.
For Darren.
Poor Darren.
Aw.
Oh. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's. Ooh. You want to do, I guess, roses or thorns first? Let's get the mushiness out of the way first before we talk about the system itself. So yeah, roses, stars, whatever, good stuff. Let's go again. Order the card keeper. Sorry, Alex, I'm putting you on the
Yeah,
spot.
no worries.
Session.
I mean, just this was a lot of fun to jump into. I mean, you said it was a it really was a roller coaster and a half. You know, Diana and Rob, like, both excellent characters, and uh, you all did a great job of making me as a player feel welcome. Veranda, did everything in her power to make sure you didn't make her feel welcome. So, but yeah, uh, jumping into these things can be pretty difficult. But I felt that it I don't know, it felt smooth to me, and I think that's definitely down to you guys. Leandro, as always, just fantastic. Uh, I I'm having difficulty coming up with words, but just very very good. Everybody very good.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Robert, what about yourself?
So for the system, I really like the use of clocks on misses during the interpersonal, just during between missions to basically put a timer on when the next threat shows up. Because that it really fits well with the Evangelion idea. Like it's slice of life, and basically the attacks usually happen after some sort of dramatic thing has happened in the uh, in the pilot's life, so it really works well with that side of it. Alex, I love how you just straight out the gate your character is just says the one thing that, the worst thing to introduce themselves. uh, uh, and Carina, I liked. Sorry, Diane. I liked Carina's just communicating, trying to negotiate, trying to find, trying to find some way of using her connection to the outsiders to help end things. And Leandro, as always, just setting up the situation at the start, having us starting the ball, in a social situation, getting basically directing Alex's character to go and introduce themselves to us, and pushing social encounters. Yeah, I just had a lot of fun with this one.
Well, thank you, Rob. Yeah, Dana, your stars, roses, fun stuff.
Okay, so yeah, I want to agree with Robert about the imminent clocks things. Um, yeah, I think that's a nice way where it's not on the GM to be like, oh, okay, I think now we should have a threat, or um, it'll be just randomly through the interactions. And I really like that. And I really like that technically this is more more about the social connections with everybody and us being like shitty teenagers. um, because yeah, shouldn't even good teenagers. Um, and I really did like the setup. I thought when we did the setting creation, all that, it was pretty straightforward, and we were able to jump in really quickly, um, and such. And yeah, Alex, like I wish we could play more together because like, and I love Veranda, and I'm really sad Darren couldn't be here because I would have really loved to see Veranda and Mars like interact because that would have been hilarious. Um, but yeah, and I love that you made Leandra like put his face in his hands like multiple times. That's always the best. um, and everything. But yeah, I think you did really good, especially coming in on the fourth episode and everything. I think you did like a great job. And Rob, I love Rain. I love like the little bits. I love that you pushed into my initial like seed of like, oh, they wanted you, that's why. And I love that you pushed into that so well. And giving us that hint at the end, like, oh, well, maybe there's something with Rain. Like, it wasn't just because Karina managed to save him. And yeah, and I just love his selflessness, like when fighting and everything. And Leandro, I don't love you. Nothing. Just kidding. You do. Same thing. You roll. I love how you roll, and that's a good sign of a really good GM is with what we give you, and like twisting it and like and feeding off of it. And I thought you did a really good job of that, especially even though we didn't get as much of the docent as you implied. The docent shows up in like your other games. What we do get of her, I really enjoy. Like, and yeah, just that fit at the. I was totally not expecting that little like twist at the end either, so I thought that was really great. Um, but yeah, those are my stars.
Oh, well, thank you. And yeah. Oh god, I think the most I can say is the testament to the number of times I had to be like, oh my god, and just oh my god, because that is genuinely just it's amazing, like just how out of the box thinking, or just like how unexpected, or just how interesting and just how great all the choices y'all made, all the things you said, all the things you wanted to do. Like, I mean, I know Alex, you said like, it was just thanks to us for integrating it, but it was so because you're so fearless at just jumping in. Of course, it'd be easy to integrate you because you're like you're. I know you made of Veranda someone who would jump in like that, but it was just so easy and quick to get who she is. Just being like, "Hey, Dose, how you doing?" It's like, oh, for fuck's sake! It's like, okay, all right, this shouldn't be too hard. So yeah, no, all I had to do was like, yeah, you go talk to them now, and get a bit of that creepy docent action going. Those are the wrong words to say. Yeah, no, so it was just. No, it was a gift. Like Veranda was a gift, and you're a gift, Alex, and it was just fab taking you in. And Rob, someday I'm gonna run a game where your character doesn't has a good ending, or it's got through an arc where happy things happen to him or to them. Because I just felt bad for Rain. And come on, you could have done anything with an epilogue, but come on. But no, I love that. Yeah, again, I think it speaks to everyone here, but especially to yourself as well. Just like that fearlessness of like, yeah, no, his life's not gonna get any better anytime soon. For Rain, and just like pushing that, and that was great. That was thanks for that. And again, yeah, well, I'm sorry, Dan. I have to say, I love it when we play together. I have to be honest with that now. But no, yeah, again, I think I mentioned this last session, but like we never talked about what was Karina's past, and just being able to just like kind of put the literal definition of play to find out what happens. I was just throwing out, okay, I hope. Well, no, not hope. I know Dad is gonna pick this up and run with this. And yeah, just I love your story. And I love that it came out fairly organically. Yeah, I loved all the interesting things you mentioned. Like I didn't know the bit about her being experimented on. I also didn't know that. You mentioned this time. I was like, wait, what? Okay, all right, we'll work with that. Yeah, so it's all great. So again, I just love again everything, all the unexpected stuff y'all threw at me. It was fab, and yeah, this anime is gonna make me cry. And I can't believe it's over, but then I have to go from teenagers to adults fighting war now next week. But no, it's been great. It's been fab. You all have been fab as always. Yeah, and okay, so now let's talk about the system a bit. So, things you like, things you wanted to point out. This is again feedback for Darren because this game is being play tested, and this is a play test. And normally I wouldn't do this. Darren's not here, which again for unfortunate that he couldn't be here. But yeah, well, let's try and give him like some stuff to work on. Yeah, so we'll start the same order again. If you have any like thoughts, things you want, I think probably some of the stuff he probably could tell if he watched all this. But yeah, is there something you want to bring up? So start with you, Alex.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think we pointed out through play a couple of the places where like the wording is ambiguous or confusing. But besides that, I think it would. I think it would. I don't know. Maybe it was just this game, and we didn't do a whole lot of make a connection moves. But it felt like there should be, I think, more mechanisms for losing and gaining links and changing the number of links and the relation and the nature of the links. In possibly other moves. Like I think the link system is really interesting to me. I think, and again, it might have just been this session, but it while they did get used, it felt a bit more static than I think is would be beneficial for the mechanic.
Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, I did feel bad that you came into this with the imminent threat clock already halfway done. Yeah, because like it's always like, and I think I have some thoughts. I'll leave it for myself at the end. Actually, some thoughts on just imminent threats. Yeah, and I shouldn't be answering for Darren. That's where he should answer for all this. Rob, do you have any like thoughts on the system?
I don't have any negative things. Like I don't have any problems that I want to point out. The problem I would have pointed out before the most recent update is that there's not a lot of guidance for what the GM should do in a miss, but now there are actually, the moves actually specify what happens on a miss. So that makes things better on that end for me. Yeah, I don't have anything to add to what anybody else said. I would have liked to try. I want you to try out the evolution moves, like to see how those worked, but we never got the chance to. Like, well, I had the chance to, but I didn't know what to do with it.
Were you thinking of reflect?
I was thinking I was going to delimit and then use ascension.
Ah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it could have happened, but like, yeah. Okay. Darren, do you have any thoughts?
But I didn't feel like my character had earned that. So.
Aw. Darren, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, part of me kind of was trying to go towards Ascension also, but I didn't have enough links to do that. And yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I'm still used to this format with links. I've only just recently played Monster Hearts for the first time in a previous campaign. So the whole links thing is like kind of newish. Like, even with the other games, Leander, that we played where they have something similar, it still didn't make sense in the in View Askew. Here it made a little bit more sense, but yeah, I agree. I didn't think about it until Alex mentioned it, that they're very static. Like, we didn't get very many, other than what we started with when we did the character creation episode 1. We didn't get very many links because we kept rolling hella low, and that's why we had that fight. Like, I think in the second episode, yeah, in the second one. So if there was a way, in case the dice rolls poorly, like other possible ways to get links. Otherwise, like, yeah, I really enjoyed this. I would definitely play the system again. And yeah, other than what we mentioned, that like some of the instructions felt a little bit ambiguous in wording, but like character creation was pretty easy. It was like one of the more simpler in the sense that it didn't take a lot of thought to like come up with a character. Like, went straight through. I was like, oh, okay, and I had a concept pretty good. Um, and setting creation, like for our part in it, since we chose instead of rolling a d6, I enjoyed. It was like, once again, something straight, and like, I'm sure for a GM it helped you a lot. um, but yeah, so those are my only concerns is like, yeah, I think it took me a while to understand the moves for when we were in the mechs, but they like with the second fight, it made a lot more sense. I was like, oh, I could do this and I can do that, and then like, oh yeah, I am thou art I. But yeah, it seems like if we're pretty low linked, it's really hard to do the evolution moves. But other than that, like overall, this is like really fantastic. Especially, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Cool. Yeah, the low links thing is interesting to me because one of the other game that Darren's GM on Wednesdays, and we never had trouble with links. I mean, maybe we just rolled really well. Like one player managed to reflect, spend 3, and by the end of that session, she still had 4 links. Like I don't know how that happened. Maybe we just spent more time connecting to each other instead of fighting threats. I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely if you can't generate that many links, it's tricky, and fights get tricky. No, I will say the other party, like, they never spent links anyway. Only I spent links, and they kept blaming my character for being a shit heel. Well, she was a bit of a shit heel. What I really like about the system is it is quite straightforward. If you think of a mech game, like the one I'm about to run next week, it's a lot. Well, also that's a Forge in the Dark game, so it's going to be a lot. But yeah, but this one is just down to the core, and that's, I think, what my favorite thing about it is, just like very straightforward. Things I would have liked, I mean, yeah, Rob mentioned that, yeah, it was nice to have some to be given guidance what to do in a 6 minus and the GM side. I would have liked a chance, I would have like given more leeway to create more NPCs. It feels like, because the way the system's set up, it is a lot of like, okay, no, you all have to interact with each other so that maybe you can set off the imminent threat clock. So there wasn't really much a chance to actually interact with the world itself. And like, part of what I like about Monster Hearts, playing enough of it, is like at the start you do kind of create NPCs. You're gonna create that schoolroom, and you get some bit of connections, get a bit of life outside of just the squad. I don't know if just because this game has only been played on the Gauntlet, so it's only 4 to 5 sessions ever, so you never really get that full campaign play. I mean, I would like to see how this goes for like 2 months or so. Might bring that up to Darren.
I would love a second season of this with like all you guys plus Tony and Darren back. Like,
Oh God, please.
like after like Carina comes back, and yeah,
comes back from yeah. Oh,
because
man.
I'm presuming like while Carina's gone, at the very least Mars comes back, if not both Mars and Benjen, and then
Okay.
having to deal with this new kid.
Yeah. All that. Yeah, I'll be curious to see how this goes. So like, 5 players and just keep going. Like, that'll be fun. I hope my schedule is fine for that. I maybe. Yeah, just the idea of that. I mean, I would love to see this like full campaign play. I'd love to see the second season. We get a new like opening and a new opening song, and
We gotta start a letter writing campaign to the writers to give us a second season.
yeah. Uh, think about it. I'll pitch that to Darren. We'll see. We'll see how scheduling works. I know he's gone. He's in a completely different time zone. He's gone in July. That's the thing as well. Yeah. No. Think about it. Yeah. I mean, he's been watching this because I'm gonna tell him to watch this because this is the feedback bit. Yeah. So at least for you, Darren. If you're watching this, for you, like that's an idea. Definitely get the chance to play this out for more than 4 sessions. Yeah, it's just to get evolution moves in just a bit more. Definitely would like a chance to have more NPC stuff because it did get to a point where like, are you friends with anyone outside of this group except for the docent? Because come on, that's a bit weird. Yeah, for a bit more tools from that. Other than that, no, the core of it, the foundation of it it's solid. It's very good. It's rock solid. And yeah, for fuck's sake, come on. Yeah, I'm gonna stop this broadcast then. You won't know what we were yelling about in the chat, but yeah, I'm gonna stop here. But yeah, this has been fantastic. Thanks very much, folks. Thanks for anyone who's watching this. He'll hopefully be up for public playtesting so others can see it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop this now.